Well, hey guys, today we're at the Ark Encounter here in Kentucky, and look at that big old monster of a building. We're going to take you through the building and show you what we think of everything. It's going to be a great day. Come along with us. Well, guys, we were able to visit the Ark Encounter in Williamstown, Kentucky, and told them we were going to make this video. They were kind enough to send us this drone footage, and it is a beautiful piece of property, and we were able to spend an entire Saturday there visiting all the exhibits and seeing everything. And to top it all off, at the very end, I got to meet Mr. Ken Ham himself. And that was a lot of fun. And yes, I was wearing my Crocs when I met him. Don't you judge me. I forgot my shoes. And no, I did not do my Australian accent in front of him.
Bloomin' onion. That's right.
No, we didn't do that. We conducted ourselves in an entirely professional manner. So let's go see the park. Now, one of the first things that jumped out to me as we were visiting this location was just how well manicured the property was. I mean, I don't know who does their landscaping, but I want their business card and I want them at my place now. The buildings there were first class and everything was well kept and looked real good. Another thing that I noticed is that it was laid out very well and things were marked very clearly. It's almost impossible to get lost at this place. But the playgrounds were really cool. Almost made me want to wish I was a kid again. There's my daughter right there going down the, whatever that is. Is that a swing? I don't know what that is, but it was pretty cool. And everything just was first class. I mean, it wasn't really just thrown together, odds and ends stuff. My nephew took me into the little maze that they had, and I was afraid to go into that because I was afraid I would not get out. And there's a lot of little noisemakers and musical instruments out there. And I gotta admit, I did wonder if there were bass in that pond, although I did not take time to find out. But one thing that really stuck out to me was just the sheer size of this place. This place was gigantic. I couldn't believe it. All right, guys, just for perspective, there's the Ark, there's me. This building is huge. I don't even know how big that is. That's like, I don't know, 10 stories? But here I am at the bottom. And by the way, I'm repping my shirt today. Y'all see that? Do all things through the verse out of context, and you get you on. They're a lot of fun. I've had so many good comments about it already. Big old thing. So we began the process to walk to the entrance of the building, and one thing that stuck out to me as we got there was just how easily accessible this building was. I mean, you didn't have to climb some really steep stairs or anything like that to get in. The ramps they had to get in there were very shallow and forgiving, so if somebody had like a back problem or something like that, they could have no trouble with this. I also noticed things for the kids, like little paw prints everywhere, which was pretty cool. But once you get into the Ark, you are instantly immersed in this Bible story, which I thought was fantastic. And a lot of little details they put into this experience, like for example, at the end of the Ark, they play a sound that sounds like a thunderstorm. So you're like immersed in this story, and it really adds to the effect of it. I thought it was cool. All right, we're here in the very front of the Ark, and as you can see, that's like the front of the ship. And they got all the thunder playing through the speakers there. It's really loud, but it gives a good effect. It's kind of scary, not gonna lie. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
Vanna, have you ever been here before?
Yes, I have.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Yes, it is.
Yep. Oh yeah. So it was Saturday, and I knew they'd be busy, which was no problem for me. And we were able to get through the crowds and see all these really neat displays. It showed Noah and his family praying on the Ark. It showed all the food containers that the Ark would have needed to have to feed these animals, and then how they would have taken care of all these reptiles that they had. Really neat stuff. And really inside the building was designed like an Ark. It had the log framing and showed how big it would have been. I thought that was super neat. But also it showed these kinds of animals that were in there, including dinosaurs and things of that nature. And I really appreciate the details of these models. These models were professionally done. These were not cheap things they threw in there. I thought it was really neat. And it really helps the story just kind of come to life before you. Now, there's a lot of things on the walls to read, so be prepared to do that. There's so much information they put out there, which is so cool. Another thing they had in there was a big, like 2-scale model of the Ark that you could see up front and kind of get a good look at that. And that was the first level. So we walked upstairs to the second level. These ramps are very forgiving and shallow. When we got up there, there was just all these beautiful murals over the wall of the days of creation in the Garden of Eden. And I was kind of blown away. And everything was really good until tragedy struck my life.
An old man with a cart just ran over my foot. Oh, they need to watch those people. Oh.
And after a short recovery time, I was back at it. They should really watch those people. That's dangerous. So the next stop on the tour was the gift shop, and there's plenty of little carved animals you can buy, vases, and some jewelry and clothing. So be sure to stop there and check that out. But my favorite part was the door in which Noah and his family came in. And if you notice in the lighting there, they've got the cross, which Jesus is the door. And I love the gospel presentation that they gave there, and I love how that's up there on the door. It's just such a great effect, and I'm thankful for that. So down the way, they keep showing you these animals divided by kind, and we're getting into a little bit bigger animals now. I mean, they have animals that look like bears, some look like horses, the horse kind right there on the screen you can see. And I really appreciate the quality of these models. I mean, these are high-end, very detailed models. It's just so cool to look at.
All right, so we're trying to fight our way through the crowds today, and there's a ton of people here, but it's Saturday, so what do you think?
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah? Well, there's a lot of crazy stuff here, but this place is first class, man. There's a lot of really neat exhibits. Everything is done real well. Hey, check that out. He's up there feeding them. So, yeah, I'd be away from those bear-looking things too. But you can see, I mean, this building is huge, and we're only on the second floor. There's two more, so pretty awesome.
Now, the next section of the tour was pretty neat to me because it showed what a lot of people think the pre-flood world looked like, how that they were given to wickedness and they were worshiping false gods. And there were some models on display there that I thought were gruesome, but like in a way that was helpful for children to understand. You see, the atheist world is out there trying to say that God is some big monster, genocidal maniac, and he's just trying to kill people because he's just a big monster tyrant, which is also the theme of Gnosticism and all these mystery religions as well. But I think they do a good job letting everybody know how wicked the pre-flood world was and why God flooded it out and judged it. These people were worshiping false gods, and yeah, I mean, it is kind of raw, but in a way that is helpful and in a way that is useful. These people were wicked. They were fallen man, and I think they do a fantastic job explaining that. Matter of fact, they even give the divine feminine on a pyramid, as you see right there on the screen, and I really was impressed with this. This is top-notch stuff, man. This is done very well. And at the end of that, they even give the gospel. And Ray Comfort preaches in a movie, and I think it's actually really good.
Now over here on like the second level on this end of the whole place, they've got a movie that they play, and Ray Comfort preaches probably one of the best gospel messages I've ever heard in my life at this side. I don't know how you can walk into this, hear that, and not get saved. It is like, I'm so appreciative of how good he did on that. So check out this movie. Make sure everybody you know sees this if you do come here. It's totally worth it. It's amazing. You got to see it.
There was another section that dealt with the Tower of Babel and why that was built, and we actually had dealt with that in 3rd Adam 2, the Great Seduction. And I was glad to see that they came to the same conclusion I did.
Hey, we covered all this in 3rd Adam 2 right here with the pyramids across the world. And there's some in England. Sudan has them. Yeah, those are the exact ones we had in 3rd Adam 2. They're everywhere. So that's what we had in 3rd Adam 2 right there. They're saying the same thing that I'm saying.
Now guys, you know if you watch our channel that we are dealing with some heavy stuff in these last days, and I was really glad to see that the Ark Encounter was dealing with these issues not in a fluff way, but giving real solid Bible answers to how the Grand Canyon was formed, aliens, flat earth stuff, and speaking about the coming judgment of God upon the world, and how that this ark story is not just a story. I mean, this is something that really happened, and showing how it could have happened and how this is totally possible. This is not some figment of our imagination. This is a true story. And the theme of God judged the world by water, and he will judge the world again by fire, is prominent throughout all this. And so you get the sense that God's judgment is real, but God does love people at the same time. The Ark encounter is literally jam-packed with information all over the walls. I mean, it really is almost information overload, but it's useful information. Stuff that is needed to be said in this day.
Matthew's Bible, 1549, in English.
And there was a Bible exhibit, although there really wasn't a whole lot there, but it was pretty neat to see the different languages that the Bible has been translated in over the years. I thought that was interesting. I look forward to seeing them expand that in time. Okay, so they've got a whole segment here where they're like trying to give the gospel, and you can see they got verses on the wall that explain the gospel, and do a pretty good job with it. And they have all these comics on the wall as well that basically give kind of a presentation of the gospel in comic book form. And I'm really impressed with it. It's really good. And just show you some of the stuff over here. But it's a blessing, man. I've really enjoyed it so far. Now, this chart on the wall is called Adam's Chart of World History, and they do sell these in the gift shop, and I think these are readily available pretty well anywhere. But this is a great tool to have if you want to understand world history. I really love it, especially from a biblical perspective. And that being said, we went down to the gift shop on the lowest level and went and checked out all the cool stuff they had there. Now, when we got down to the bookstore, I was, expecting there to be a lot of toys, but I was surprised at how much good content in book form and DVD form they had to defend certain positions that Christians have. There was a lot of stuff on creationism, and there was a lot of stuff on, social issues of the day. There was even a Spanish section, which I thought that was great. Praise the Lord for that. And, of course, the toys. Now, when my kids saw the toys, I was feeling like I had to escape the place real quick before my children beat me up and took my wallet and bought literally everything. Most parents will understand what I'm saying when I say that. But the toys, they were pretty good quality, and they had some good, T-shirts and things to wear. This was not a junky place. I mean, this is not like some storefront store in Panama City Beach or nothing. I mean, that good stuff, and I was glad to see that. They're doing everything first class here at the Ark Encounter. Now, at this point, we had actually been there for a few hours, and I was getting kind of hungry. So we went to this M. Zara's kitchen. I don't really even know much about it, but we went over there, had to walk upstairs and walk around the building to get into like an entrance, and it was like a buffet when you get in there. You pay per person, and they have some prices, of course, according to kids and adults, and you get your food. And I was surprised how good a selection they had. I mean, they had fried chicken, they had meatballs, they had all kinds of roast beef and stuff like that. They had ham and turkey. I mean, like, this was not some, this wasn't a gas station restaurant. This was actually a pretty nice place. I was pleasantly surprised. Of course, they had rolls and all kinds of salad bar for everybody. I mean, you'd have to be an awful picky person to go there and not find something that you would like. I mean, it was pretty broad spectrum of what you could have. And my daughter, she got a lot of corn and whatever.
Got some fresh fried chicken, some green beans with bacon, mashed potatoes and gravy, baked beans, and macaroni and cheese. She had some roasted potatoes that looked really good with herbs on them.
Yeah, and she ate them all.
And Michaela's got some meatballs.
Oh, yeah. It looks good.
You got ham.
I got ham. Pretty good. Now, when we got our food, I was kind of worried because the entire restaurant was packed, but thankfully there was an entire upper level and was pretty well empty, so we just ate up there. So we just ate at the
cafe there. It was pretty good. It wasn't like fine dining or nothing, but it was actually pretty good. You know, it's a buffet, so you get all you want. That's pretty good. So I recommend that. About $25 a person, so which is understandable. It's kind of expensive, but not bad. So would eat there again.
The next step on our tour was the virtual reality experience called Truth Traveler.
Okay, we're gonna do the VR now, and that's gonna be pretty neat. We'll see how it goes.
Now, the Truth Traveler building was designed kind of in a sci-fi kind of theme, and it was pretty neat to see all that. I thought the designs were cool, but we waited in line to go take our adventure ride. Okay. That's pretty nice. Okay, we'll set our stuff here. There we go. And we're stuck here. Let's go. Let's sit here. Oh, I need to take these sunglasses off. Yes, sit right there. Okay, I'm gonna sit here. Yes, you're right. I need to do that. Okay. We'll be back. Now, this virtual reality headset was something else. I mean, it covered your eyes completely so you couldn't see anything, and then it had these earmuffs that went over your ears so you couldn't hear anything. And then not only that, the chairs that you actually sit in move during the ride. So, like, this whole thing is literally so immersive. It was really neat. And we watched a film about how the flood happened and how, you know, the whole world was wiped out by the flood. Really, it was all about the flood. And Ken Ham came and gave a gospel presentation right after that. And it was pretty neat. I got to tell you that when you can't see and all you can hear is what they're telling you to hear and the seats are moving, it gets pretty wild. I think I got a little bit too immersed in it, kind of got carried away a little bit, but that's okay. I tried to film a little bit of the experience with my cell phone, but it didn't really work too well when the seats started to move. It was, it ended up being a total disaster. Yeah, I told you. But it was totally awesome.
So that was really cool. Had a pretty cool graphics, a great gospel presentation in it. And really appreciated that so much. So it was like $15 go through that, and we enjoyed it. So hey, here's the lobby. Let me show you the lobby a little bit. And
man, it's just real sci-fi looking, real cool. I enjoyed this. Recommend it highly. After the VR, we went to the convention center where, like, they have the big presentations and stuff, and Ken Ham was speaking on genetics, and we were thrilled to meet a new friend, one of our viewers of our channel there.
this is John. It's John's 16th birthday today. He's here today at the Ark. We're going to hear Ken Ham. Good to see you, buddy.
So I went into this seminar not really knowing what to expect. I don't know. I thought it would just be some boring lecture about science and genetics, but I was completely shocked because the man started preaching against evolution and called Charles Darwin a racist and a sexist and the hypocrisy of the political left and upholding this man as a hero when he was a racist and I mean, it was amazing. I was like, yes, this is like Pentecostal camp meeting, and I was thrilled for the content that he was covering. Like, I couldn't believe what this man was saying. It was such a blessing. I love it. Thank God.
So, when you start your thinking from God's word, you have a Christian worldview. You start from man's word, you have a secular worldview.
After the seminar, I took a few moments to appreciate the beautiful cameras that they were using and maybe covet just a little bit. Now, the only thing we didn't get to see was the petting zoo, and we look forward to going back and seeing that at a later time. But, man, I'm telling you, the Ark Encounter is first class. A lot of people are saying that they have enjoyed taking their family to this more than they do Disney World. And I can see why they say that. This is a high-quality place that has a biblical worldview. You don't have to worry about what they're teaching everybody there. And they're not trying to sneak in anything that's godless. I mean, this is a Christian place and it has a biblical worldview. And I appreciate that. I also appreciate that there's no leanings of theological liberalism there as far as certain compromises of theistic evolution and things like that. I mean, these people are strict creationists, and man, I really appreciate their stand on all that. So things that stood out to me was, of course, the cleanness of the place, how well it was run and organized, the attention to detail, the content that was given is another thing that I appreciate about this place, and just the emphasis on the gospel. I mean, I heard the gospel preached probably 5 or 6 times while I was there, and man, the message is clear, the message is given well, it is delivered well. And if you come in this place as some sort of atheist and an evolutionist or whatever, and you walk through and you experience all the angles of this, you will hear the gospel. And I'm glad for that. I want my kids to see a place like this and hear the gospel at this place. So, does Spencer Smith recommend the Ark Encounter? Well, that is an emphatic yes. We endorse this place. I have really enjoyed it. And I look forward to doing another video on the Creation Museum. And this is a blessing, so we thank God for that. So guys, get your family here. Don't spend your money on companies that hate you and hate your kids' souls. This is an entertaining experience that my kids really loved. They were not bored. There was plenty to do. And best of all, there was a lot of solid biblical content that was given so that, kids can understand what the world is like and who God is and what the gospel is. So that is a great blessing, and I thank the Lord for that. And bottom line is, folks, get your family here. Get your family here. Let your kids see this. If you're going to go on vacation, just come up here, and there's a lot of good hotels in the Cincinnati area that you can get into that are not expensive. And get your kids here. Let them see this. See it at least once. You will not regret this. It is a blessing. And I love it. Thank God for that. So with that being said, guys, we appreciate you for watching this video all the way through to the very end. And go ahead and like this video if you will. That helps our channel tremendously. And subscribe if you're new. We look forward to going back to the Creation Museum and going back to the Ark Encounter and possibly doing more videos just like this if there's any new exhibits and stuff. But you will love this, so please do that. And if you haven't bought any of our merchandise, like the shirt that we have in the video, that's available in our Spreadshirt store down below. You can go ahead and purchase one of those. That'd be a great blessing. It helps our ministry and helps fund our operation here. And we appreciate you guys. So go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, get you a piece of merchandise from the store, and we look forward to many good videos in the future just like this one. God bless you, friend, and we will talk to you guys very soon. Doctrine matters, and have a good day.